The Soviet Union had a very big problem. Those problems were lunacy and sanatoriums. In 1955, they didn't bother using sanatoriums. They sold drugs instead. Not Class B, but Class A. The church have nothing to do with this. This is purely a government act. And some governments today are still acting up with Class A drugs, shutting down borders, attacking other countries, because their supply of Class A has demised. The shutting down of gas pipes between countries is evident that those gas supplies are not as strong as the countries that supply the demand, meaning that somebody's gas valves are not really operating at full gas pressure. The gas valve that is pushing into the gas that's full of gas is leaking gas back to the supply for where it's supposed to come from. They're stealing gas. The problem with the Soviet Union was that 1955 they closed down the sanatoriums. They didn't want to any longer supply people with anything. So they made rapists, criminals, thieves, all from the edge of Russia. These countries that are not Russian are no problem or worry at all. But the mad, sick, unemployed rapist has left the country where the sanatoriums no longer exist. These country folk left and found themselves with family contacts from 1950 onwards onto the shores of America. Relatives from Ukraine, relatives from Siberia, relatives from Serbia, relatives from Bosnia, relatives from, and so on and so forth. Those relatives are relatives of relatives. I know for a fact that 5 world leaders have relatives. Oh, sorry, they're not world leaders. The ones that are running the racket between closing borders down and attacking other countries. Should we say there is a relative of advertising people's relatives in Ukraine, people's relatives of Serbia. They left, they ran away from national service, and they're pretending today. Is that true? That Elon Musk has a relative in Romania? Is that true that Donald Trump has a relative in Ukraine and not Scotland? Is that true that the relative from Scotland was actually Ukrainian, Russian, Ukrainian? Is that true? Because I saw the advertisement when I was in Ukraine that Donald Trump came from Ukraine, but on the borders of Russia. I saw it. I saw it advertised. It was advertised in a Russian-speaking magazine, journal. Is it true? That President Putin has a relative from the Serbian Waffen?